everyone, and welcome back to today's video. Today we are going to be drawing with my new markers. So here I'm going to be drawing on an index card. I just like index cards, they're fun to draw on. And I'm also going to be using the COPIC marker set portrait. It's like the skin tone set. Here's an example that I'm showing you here that I did previously with markers, and I kind of wanted to make something similar to this. I like how this piece turned out. I definitely have like a few, things I see in hindsight. Hindsight is 20/20 vision or something like that. And, I'm going to probably talk to you about those. So here I am starting off with a pink pencil sketch. It's just a normal pink pencil. You can use your classic like Crayola or Crazy Art, whatever you fancy. But for this piece, I wanted to do something similar to the marker art that I showed you in the beginning. I wanted to have something that was flowy, that had a cool light source, that incorporated a star and then a background. So the main theme for this was number one. What I changed was I made this, instead of landscape, I made it portrait, which is one of the things I feel like I shouldn't have changed, because now it doesn't seem like it's a set to the, I'm going to nickname it the blue one, the marker set that I showed you, the marker art that I showed you in the first place. It doesn't look like it's a set. They have similar qualities, but they don't look the same, it doesn't make it feel cohesive in my opinion. Also, I closed her eyes. In the other one, the blue piece, I didn't close her eyes. So I wanted to evoke a sense that yes, they're similar, but they're not the same, but they don't feel like a set. So I think not at least keeping the piece landscape was one of the things I didn't like about it. I still like how it turned out, and I think if I were to draw this exact same thing on landscape, I don't think it would have worked. So portrait is better for this piece, but as a standalone piece. With the blue one, it just doesn't work. Here I am choosing out the colors. I wanted to go for like a darker skin tone, and here's another thing I have. I feel like I didn't go dark enough. I wanted like very specific lighting, but I just didn't know how to emulate that with the colors that I had chosen. I think I should have started off way lighter than I did and then go way darker, because with the blue piece, that's what I did. I started out with my lightest Copic marker, and I slowly but surely built up value and color, and I blended. And also, my marker just started like leaking all over the place. I think it's because I had tilted my marker set down, and because these are brand new Copics, they they're full of juicy ink. It kind of just like bled everywhere, so the hand kind of got messed up, which I don't really mind. It's not a big deal for me. Hands, I love to stylize them, so just because it bled out, it didn't make or break the piece. But that is one of the things I wanted to point out. So yeah, also I just feel like I didn't build things up correctly. So yeah. But I'm actually still really happy with this piece. As much as I've been talking about things, I want to show you guys that just because a piece doesn't turn out the way you think of it in your head or the way you want it to, doesn't mean it's a bad art piece. I don't think this art piece turned out bad at all. In fact, I like it. I just think in the context of what I wanted, it doesn't fit. But that's okay. I've made tons of art pieces like that, and I still love them very dearly. In fact, the art pieces that I've made without context are probably one of my favorites. I do really like this still, and I think, it's not perfect, but that's okay. In fact, it's perfect in my eyes, so it's all good. Here I am adding the blush and starting to add the shadows. I should have really picked a more consistent lighting, because I feel like it's a little all over the place. You'll see me realize it with the hands, that sometimes I put the shadows in the wrong areas, but I fix it, so it's okay. Also, her hair, I feel like I should have made it longer, but at the same time, I don't really mind, so. But yeah, here I am just going around, coloring, picking up my markers. As a review for these Copics, I know in the art world, they're considered the best marker, and I would agree with that sentiment. I've used, two alcohol markers. I've used the Ohuhu 48 brush set, and then I've used these Copics that you're seeing on screen right now. And I like them. I like them a lot. I think their brush tips are They're slightly different than the Ohuhu brush marker ones, and not in a bad way at all. It just like takes a little bit of getting used to, especially because I've been using the Ohuhus for like 3-4 years now. So, you know, it took a little bit of time to learn. Also, the caps don't fit on the other end like the Ohuhus, which isn't bad either. Just, you know, I've kind of programmed my brain with the Ohuhus, like make sure you put the cap on the other end of the marker because they stick together so you don't lose the cap. But with Copics, I kind of just have to like leave them on my desk, but make sure they're organized and make sure I put the right cap on the right marker. But yeah, also I will be going about line art slightly differently. So when I do my process of colored pencil, usually in pink, then marker, then line art, I don't do it section by section. This is what I did differently. I did colored pencil, then I would color a section of the colored pencil. So for example, as you're seeing, I do the skin first, and then I do line art, and then I do the hair next, and then I do line art, which is not normally how I go about my marker pieces when I do colored pencil as my sketch. Normally I do colored pencil sketch, marker like throughout the entire piece, and then line art is my last step, because sometimes my line art pen runs, especially with the lighter colors, and also because index cards are like not specifically marker paper. You know, it can be a hit or a miss whether the line art still smudges even afterwards. It didn't really bother me. I don't really remember the pen smudging too much, and if it did, it didn't smudge that bad to where I was like worried about it or anything. But yeah, just going around. Also, I am using a Micron pen. I got it recently and I have been loving it. It's a good pen. But my formal review of these Copic markers is they're very good. I definitely recommend a beginner set before you dive into Copics, because number one, Copics are expensive, and number two, it just takes some getting used to alcohol markers, their feel, how they blend, how they feather out on certain paper types. I've used a few different paper types. I've used really thin ones, really thin meaning like printer paper, and I've used really thick paper meaning like cardstock. I think one time I had the joy of using Bristol board, but that was like once, and it was an art class. And they're good markers, but you have to know how they work. So I definitely suggest getting a beginner set, or if you're gonna get Copics, I suggest getting like a select few. Like definitely get one of the smaller packs, although the smaller packs can run you like $35 US. So however you're feeling about that, if I were like a beginner, I'd get like a single Copic marker, because that's actually how I started, okay? I had my 48 set of Wahoo markers, and then I had a one Copic marker, and it was a gray, because I think gray you can basically use in anything, and it can be a substitute black as well. So I started off with that, got used to the Copics, got used to the Ohuhus, got used to markers in general, and then I upgraded. I definitely suggest doing that in your art journey. I don't suggest you outright buy the most expensive one it is just because other people have used it and it works nicely. Yes, it'll still work nicely, but you need to know how it works in order to make it work nicely. So that's why sometimes I just straight up just use Crayola colored pencils, because not that they're a bad art supply, it's just I know how to use something that many people consider to not be a great art supply and turn it into something great, because I know how to use my skills and adapt the colored pencils to my process and adapt my process to the colored pencils. But that's just my little, my little talk about art supplies and, beginning stuff. I definitely suggest you start out small and get bigger and bigger the more you want to draw and, have your expertise. I also want to talk about me for a little bit. I want to thank you all for my subscriber growth. If you don't know, I want to reach 100 subscribers by March 30th. That is my goal. And I also want to get my first commission by March 30th. So if you want to help me on that journey, I would greatly appreciate it. 100 subscribers would be amazing. If anyone wants anything specific for 100 subscribers, I'd be willing to do that. I could do a Q&A or just like a special thank you for 100 subscribers little video. And then for my commissions, you can commission me on anything. I do anything from profile pictures to sketches to full color illustrations. I can do fan art. I can also draw cats if you like, warrior cats and stuff like that. And yes, all of them are pretty much affordable. None of my commission prices are over $30, so I'm affordable. I'm out here. Thank you. So yes, I'm open on that. All my commission info is on Instagram. I'm working on getting it to other social media, so please be patient with me. So thank you. If you would like to support me in any way, I greatly appreciate it. Also, my Etsy store, at Glitterbees Unite, it's the same. All my social medias, all of my platforms, I'm always by Glitterbees Unite. And my store is up. I'm selling pins, I'm selling prints, and I would really appreciate if you would buy some. I think I'll have some new ones up on the store soon, hopefully. But yeah, so if you want to buy a print or a pin from me, it would also be greatly appreciated. We will ship it out to you as fast as we can, which is normally less than a week turnaround. If I'm not too busy, it's normally, let's say, within like 2 to 4 days. So it should be sent out decently, fast. But yeah, so thank you all for the support, thank you all for the encouragement, and I appreciate all you do for me. And then here I am just adding a few more shadows, back to the art piece. I'm adding shadows with a warm gray from the Ohuhu set. I did mix and match my COPICs with my Ohuhu set, just because number one, I have more Ohuhus than I have COPICs. And also, just to get a wide range of colors, it was, fun. I added a star, like her holding a star, to match the blue piece, just so, they were more cohesive. But yeah, I really like that. Also, have you guys been noticing my little PNG tuber in the corner? Isn't she so cute? That's a representation of, what I look like, and I really like it. I liked how it turned out, so expect to see a video on my PNG tuber soon, because I know you guys will enjoy that. It'll be like a mini tutorial slash my process slash how I made it. So yeah, watch out for that video, because it's going to be amazing. So yes, here I am. I wanted the main color for this to be purple, because in the blue piece, the reason I nicknamed it the blue piece is because the overwhelming color is technically blue because it's the sky. So the overwhelming color for this one is purple. So I wanted to use a purple sweater, and then you'll see in a little bit the background is going to be a darker purple and a lighter purple. And I kind of just blended it, and then I did a white outline afterwards, while I was doing the purple. Here I am just doing my fine liners, and then, my PNG tuber is blocking the caps, but I think this is the Ohuhu. I believe it is P3, P4, if I remember correctly, or it's P2 and P4. I know for sure I use P4. But here I am just going around the outline, and I'll end up blending this with the darker purple, which is P4. I think it's P3, P4. I think so. I'm like 100% sure. Yeah. So here I am just doing the background. Here you can see me blending it. I actually really like how these two purples blended together. They ended up being like really nice. Which is surprising, because I feel like this sort of cool purple and this sort of warm purple don't always like match immediately, but they blended really nicely. Also, the review on the index cards. Yes, you can use markers on index cards. I've done it a ton of times. Just be careful. Certain markers blend more on index cards than others, so just be wary of that. But yeah, I just really enjoyed doing this piece, and even though I had a lot of things to say about it, I still really like it. And I also just kind of wanted to share with you guys, what I was doing. So here I am just adding the finishing touches. I wanted to add my signature because it's 2023. So yeah. And here I am adding the signature actually with the same micron. This is a 0.1 millimeters micron, if anyone was curious. And then I'm going to be doing a little side-by-side comparison. Well, here is the final piece, first of all. I like how it turned out. I think it's nice. I wish I could have done a little bit more with the lighting, but, it's okay. So here I am with the final piece. Here are the blue and the purple ones. I really like how they turned out, and they're just nice in general. So I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you so much for your support. Continue to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!